He was happy to come to Toronto and have education, his GED done, have a job, and be there for his daughter. So he lost all his childhood, and I'm afraid he's going to lose his adulthood too.
He did the crime and he served the time. After 5 years in prison, Abdul Abdi was set to be released last week and reunited with his aunt in Toronto. We first brought you his story yesterday. The now 23-year-old was only 17 when he entered prison. Before that, having spent his entire childhood in foster care. But instead of starting a new life, he's now facing deportation to Somalia, a country he hasn't seen since he was 3. Now, one youth lawyer says Abdi is not alone in his situation. She says it's not uncommon for former wards of the state to find themselves facing deportation at 18 because of criminality, since they don't have their Canadian citizenship and Children's Services never obtained it for them.
Oftentimes they had no idea until they are incarcerated or something happens to them and CBSA comes and visits them and says, we're seeking your removal from Canada. So it's a huge shock. It's incredibly stressful. The way that it's all set up, it doesn't make sense. You have young people who have been taken in care by that state, and then that same state then tries to remove them from the country once they become adults. It's incredibly unjust. It feels extremely unfair.
Julia Hayes with Justice for Children and Youth says in just 3 years with the group, she's heard of at least 15 cases of former child refugees facing deportation and knows of at least 3 who have been removed from Canada to a country they have no connection to. She says part of the issue is there's no regulation that says Children's Services has to secure citizenship for a child in their care, leaving youth to navigate the process on their own.
Before last year, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada was not accepting the CAS as a parent or guardian. So this meant that even if the CAS signed their form as the parent or guardian on their citizenship application, they were not accepting it. Currently, if a child does not have a parent or guardian, they have to apply for a ministerial waiver in order to apply for citizenship when they are under the age of 18. Children who are applying have to pay the adult fee. So it is a huge burden for you to expect a 16-year-old to pay a fee that's over $500.
Now, Hayes says she wants to see the system change, particularly because children who are wards of the state are at higher risk of being incarcerated because of their circumstances. Now, she also believes that the law shouldn't allow those who have come to Canada as children to be deported from the only country they've ever called home. Janelle Amasa, City News.